All right, I'll retweet.
All right, guys. Welcome back to the second podcast of the day, Monday, August 7th. We just recapped UFC Nashville, Marcel. Now we're breaking down UFC Vegas 78, Luque versus Anjos. We have 12 fights, I believe. We might get a 13th fight. So Glenn's already asking about the replacement for Heaston. What are you hearing about a fight for Damon Blackshear?
Literally nothing. The only thing I'm hearing is that they're searching for an opponent, but I have no update on it yet. And it sucks, man. Last time we did a podcast last week about what was it again? Sean Woodson didn't have an opponent, and then I hear it was Myron Santos, and then a day later it's like Dennis Buzukia. So it's like we were just too late. But I really have no idea. I have no insights right now. So.
That's too funny. By the way, I just spilled my drink on my shirt. Right when you were talking, I missed the I just opened it and I just missed it. Freak. So if you guys see, like, you're wondering what this is, I just spilled my drink. But hey, we're doing the podcast live. It's all good. But yeah, we don't have a replacement right now, so we'll just operate with the assumption that he's not going to fight, but he might. There's a chance, right, Marcel? Like, how much of a chance would you give it, like, that he's going to fight in the card?
50-50 chance. By the way, I'm happy the spilling of your drink happened now because we were too late in the first podcast. And if it happened then, people maybe think it was something else. So I'm happy it's happened now.
I thought I was wasted spilling my drink everywhere. No, I know. What's up, JPH? How's it going? The dynamic duo? Absolutely. All right. Marcel, you've tweeted it all right? You're good to go?
Yeah, I did.
All right, cool. So we have UFC Vegas 78. Marcel, I always ask you, like, what's your thoughts on this card before we jump into it?
Yeah, I would say it's a typical Apex card. There are some fun fights on it. I think the bout order is a little bit weird, I'm not going to lie. I think the bout order, how it was before, was better than how they did it now. Right. But, yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'll watch. It's a good amount of fights. Some fun fights on it. I'm happy Terrance McKinney is added to the card. Sad that Fanada is not fighting. But, yeah, looking forward to it. It's we're watching it anyways, and I'm happy it's a little bit earlier than it was on Saturday. It's like 2 hours earlier. Yep. Saturday was a little bit late, in my opinion. I mean, fight night shouldn't be started so late, in my opinion. Pay-per-view is no problem. It is what it is, but yeah, I'm happy with it.
There we go. All right, I agree with you. All right, guys, we're going to use the UFC stats bout order, and we'll just replace Fanada with McKinney for that fight. All right, guys, let's get into it. First fight of the night: Juliana Miller taking on Luana Santos at flyweight, the women's flyweight division. Right now, we have Santos is favored. She is minus 145 and plus 115 on Miller. What's your thoughts?
You go first on this one, dude.
Yeah, it's a tough one, man. Honestly, this one's a little tricky. I wouldn't bet on this fight. I'm staying the fuck away from this. This is a classic stay away from fight for me. I like Juliana Miller. Like, on the show, I liked her a lot. Like, I thought she was, going to be a really good fighter in the UFC, and she looked amazing in her debut, right, against Brogan Walker. Gets the finish with like a minute left. That was incredible. But the last fight with Hardy was so bad. It was so bad. She was such a big favorite to lose like that. She got dominated in that fight, guys. Like, complete, utter domination by a fighter who hadn't fought in 3.5 years. Wow, that was really bad. So it's just a bad look. It's a bad look. And although she is pretty young at 27, her opponent here is even younger at 23. So I don't feel like they're doing her like a lot of favors. I'll be honest, I hadn't watched Luana Santos until today. Because I just didn't have the chance to ever watch her fight. I know she'd fought in LFA, so I did the tape study today. I mean, you kind of have to like her here, I think, guys. Like, just based on what I've seen, like, she's a really good grappler, right? And she does wrestle, so she'll go for a takedown immediately. Her jiu-jitsu is good. She has some really good submissions on her resume. Doesn't have a lot of experience, but she's looked good for what I've seen. Good cardio. Really good wrestling, really good top control. I understand the opposition hasn't been great, but, like, is Juliana Miller great? I don't think so, based on the last fight. I hate fading someone just based on the last fight only, but it was so bad that I can't pick her here, Marcel. Even though I'm looking at her as a dog and I'm like, man, she's got a chance. She does have a chance, but, like, confidently, I can't pick Juliana Miller after that last fight again. Don't want to write her off too soon because I really liked her coming off the show, but it was just so bad. Such a bad look. And she's fighting a girl that will wrestle, that will grapple. Again, I watched all her fights in LFA. I even watched one of her fights in the SFT promotion. Yeah, I mean, I think she looks good. The fight she did lose against Jenna Bishop, she's an undefeated prospect, 5-0, who's a really good grappler too. So, like, if you look at it matchup-wise, it wasn't an easy fight. And honestly, she did pretty good. You're going to see her, she's a judo background, you're going to see her go for that head and arm toss in this fight, and I think she gets it. This could look like that fight. I actually did tape sight in this one today too. I remember this terrible fight between Montserrat, Conejo, and Cheyenne Base. I could see the fight looking like this. I have to pick Santos. It's not confident because she has no experience in the UFC and only has six pro fights, but I'm pretty sure she just grinds a decision out, Marcel, over Miller, who cannot stop a takedown based on what I've seen. What do you think?
So you said the first time you watched Luana Santos was today. Now we know why you were late, dude. Now we know.
I know, right? I was doing my tape study.
yeah, of course, your tape study. Yeah,
Tape
with your
study,
right,
yeah.
with your right hand. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm picking Luana Santos here as well. You know, I
Okay.
fully agree with you. I mean, Juliana Miller looked really bad in her fight against Veronica Hardy in London in March. Santos looked pretty decent for what I've seen from her so far. You know, besides, yeah, not the greatest opposition, obviously. You know, but now, I mean, is Juliana Miller the greatest opposition? I don't know. I think she's talented. Don't get me wrong, but I'm more confident in picking Santos here. I'm going Santos decision, maybe even finish, but I'm going a little bit safe and picking a decision here.
I'm pretty ssure she wins too. It's just, again, I was so high in Juliana that I don't want to just completely write her off after one fight, you know? Mm-hmm. But it was so bad, Marcel. It was so bad. I can't pick her here. Anyways, we have the same pick. Who knows? By the end of the week, sometimes I change my mind on fight day and I make a bet right or lay off of it. You know, like that could happen here. I might just end up betting on this girl because I do think she wins the fight. Like if the line gets a little closer, I might have to take a shot. I do think she opened as a dog. If you got her a dog money, I mean that was a good bet. I think because again, you watch the tape on this girl and like the wrestling is like pretty dominant. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty good. And also jiu-jitsu. She has that what's that submission she has? Tessa got to me. Am I saying it right? I can't remember if I am. Lega Americana, she has two of those. I mean, so she's good in the ground. I know you said this, Marcus. See, I completely disagree with the timeout because she looked great in that fight, but in my opinion, like if I wish I listened to you because she got destroyed in her next fight. Man, all of us, we should have bet on Veronica Hardy in her last fight. You know, Dan was just like, take her down. She can't defend a takedown. And whatever team Santos is, if she has any half decent of a coach and they watch her last fight, do one tape study on one fight, they will see what the path to victory is here. You said decision or submission? What do you think?
I said the decision, but man, it's like it's a safe pick. You know what I mean? It's a safe pick.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I agree with that. That's the thing, though, George. I agree with this too. I agree with George too in that why would they just like ruin this prospect, right? But the matchmakers also watch the fights just as much as we do. And after that last fight, they might have given up on her, guys. It's possible. You know, she has a chance to win. The line's pretty close. I can't pick her. Hey, Anton, what's up? Think she can take it. I mean, maybe. She might. Excuse me, her last fight, new to travel, UK Irish for jet lag. Possibly, but I mean, it was bad. Again, I don't want to just completely write off a fighter based on one fight. I've said that a few times now. That's why I'm not like super convinced in Santos, but like just watch the tape on her, guys. That the fights are out there. Her ground game is very good. I'll just say that. So if she could replicate the same game plan, she should win this easily, to be honest. But we'll see. All right, go to the next fight here, Marcel. Well, okay, so this fight's off the card. I think they've removed it. No, it's still listed. Damon Blackshear versus Brady Heastan. Again, Marcel said they're trying to look for an opponent for the Monster right now, but it looks like that fight might not happen. So for Blackshear, we'll see what happens though. Someone can step out at short notice. Next up, we got Jacqueline Amorim versus Montserrat Conejo. I just mentioned her. And odds for this one, Marcel, Ruiz is minus. Let's see here. Amorim's favored, minus 250. Yeah. Ruiz is plus 200. Yeah. So you want me to start on this one, or do you want to start?
You can stop. I only want to say that I think the line is way too high, but you go ahead.
I agree the line's too high, too. I mean, don't bet on this fight. I'm telling you right now, guys, don't bet on it. Amorim is definitely a dangerous fighter. Her ground game is her submissions are really good. She didn't get the submission against Sam Hughes, but she had multiple positions, right? And then, I was watching her tape back a little bit today. Like, she's dangerous as fuck. Also, she had this crazy knockout in 10 seconds against Megan Owen. One-punch knockout. But again, against the fighter who's 1-0, right? That's the thing, man. It's just like, she's a front runner. All her wins are in the first round. She is super dangerous in the first round. Really good submissions. She does have some power, as we've seen, too. But, my God. And I remember, I don't know if my tweet went up, but I remember that last fight. I tweeted it out. The way she gassed out against Sam Hughes is super concerning, right? Like, she's completely gassed out. Now, I get it. It was UFC debut, some jitters, whatever. But, like, this was only 4 months later. It's not like she's had a long time to fix this cardio issue because it looks like she has a cardio issue. And I don't like betting on fighters with cardio issues, man. I don't like it, And then you have this fight. against Ruiz Conejo, whatever you want to call her. I think she just got married or something as well.
I think no, it's like this. Her name is Montserrat Conejo Ruiz, and I think in Mexico you get the name of your dad and your mother. So one name is of her dad and one is of her mother. So it's Montserrat Conejo Ruiz. It's just two last names.
Yeah, I'm just answering this guy's question, John. Hey, John. Yeah, I agree. I know what you're saying, Marcel. Anyways, let me finish my breakdown.
Yeah, sure thing.
So, like, that's the thing. So, I went back and watched the fight because I kind of remembered it, but she hadn't fought in 2.5 years, right? So it's been, or not 2.5, 2 years, 25 months actually. But yeah, so the Cheyenne Bays fight was a really good win on short notice, or as an underdog, and I think it was short notice too, actually, if I'm not mistaken, right? Her debut, I'm pretty sure it was, and she just controlled Cheyenne on the ground with her wrestling. So she is a Mexican wrestling champion, if I'm not mistaken. She's very small. She's like 5 feet tall, but man, she can wrestle. Gets brutally knocked away Lemos, but like that could happen to anyone. And honestly, looking back at it, it was like a really quick. It was like the Jacoby and Nchukwi fight. One punch dropped her, and the referee stopped it, but probably would have lost anyways. I'm just saying, like, we don't know what we're going to get here 2 years later. I think she can win this fight, Marcel. I do. It's hard to pick her based on the layoff, for me, but if she survives the first round, which is possible, she can grind this out in the second and third round. In fact, that's probably what would happen if Amorim can't finish. That being said, Amorim is so dangerous in the first round, man. I think she'll get the finish this time. I'm going to take her by knockout because I saw some power in that one fight, and Lemos did knock out Conejo. But if she can't get the finish in the round one, it's either going to be knockout or submission. Obviously, if she doesn't get the finish in 5 minutes, she's done. So I'm staying away from this fight. But if there would be a way to play it, it would probably be like Amorim first round. That's the way to play it for her, or inside the distance, because she probably won't win a decision. I mean, I'd be shocked. Her cardio is bad. And then Maurice or Conejo, whatever you want to call her, decision probably would be her path. You think she got a chance, man? What do you think?
I mean, I said the line is too high, so she definitely gets a chance. But it's clearly what you said, man. It's either a first round submission win for Jacqueline Amorim or it's a decision win likely for Montserrat. So
yep.
I think at a certain moment in the first round, Jacqueline Amorim will be able to get Montserrat's back. And if that happens, I think she rear naked chokes her. So that would be my pick. If you don't think she submits her early in the first round or early second round,
I think she can knock her out too. I just want to jump in and say that because I do think there's a chance for a knockout too.
It's possible, but I think she will look for the submission here. That's what I think, But I'm definitely with you. It's possible,
Now that I think about it, let me check the odds on that. Go ahead, keep talking. Sorry.
Submission first round, Jacqueline Amorim via rear naked choke. That's my pick.
Amorim by submission is that's not there.
Probably minus something, so minus 100, minus 120.
I'm taking a look right now because that's the way she'd probably win, right? Amorim by submission. Yeah, great pick. Minus 125. So nice job. But her by knockout, which I think the knockout could be the sharp play here. Plus 900. I'm putting a few bucks on that. I have to. Plus 900. There's a chance, guys. I'm telling you, she's got a little power. The other girl just got knocked out brutally in 30 seconds. You could see it happen. I shouldn't say just got knocked out. It was 2 years ago, but you know what I'm saying? Massive layoff. I don't know. I know I'm pretty sure got married. Maybe injuries. I'm not 100% sure. I wish I knew. She could wrestle to win this fight, though, guys. That's the thing. Yeah, this is the thing. I actually watched it back, and that was so funny. That was funny. Head and arm throw. Yeah, absolutely. I could see that happen, too, and then she could submit her. But again, the gas tank's such a concern, guys, with Amorim. So if you do play her, what's actually round one? That's another way to play her because all her wins are round one. Plus 125. Yeah. I'm going to put a few bucks on a knockout, Marcel. Remember a few weeks ago I called Holland by submission. You thought I was crazy. We'll see if I'm crazy now. Anyways, go to the next fight here. Oh, Marcel's favorites, the big boys. We got Martin Buday against Josh Parisian. Heavyweight fight. Odds for this one, guys. We got Martin Buday is minus 2. Where is he? He's minus 218, 215, and plus 170 on Parisian. Seeing a few different numbers out there, but about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we can make a long story short. I mean, Buday, I still believe that Buday is pretty decent, and Parisian is not really bad, but I don't think he's actually UFC caliber, if I'm really honest, And I think Buday wins this. I think he wrestles, and maybe he even knocks him out. It's possible, But I think he plays it a little bit safe. I think it will be a very lackluster fight, and I think he wins a decision. That's what I think.
I just hope to God that I don't see an update from you later this week, Marcel, that has this on the main card, because this fight sucks.
This was supposed to be on the main card first.
Oh my God, this fight's gonna suck. Like, let's be honest. This is a on paper an awful fight. I think it's going to be a lot of cage pushing. That's the way Buday fights. That's the way Parisian fights. Buday probably gets a couple takedowns throughout the fight. I would imagine like 1 or 2 control time, but I think it's going to be a lot of fence pressing. That's what I think, man. I hope there's a knockout. I don't see it happening. I think it's going to be a boring 50-minute decision. I think Buday wins like probably 30-27 just by fence pushing and landing more clinch strikes. And go ahead.
Supposed to be the main card opener, dude.
Awful. I do think he wins the fight. You know, the odds are just over 2-1. That's about accurate, I would say. I don't know if there's like quote unquote like huge value, but I think he wins. I'm pretty sure he wins. I'm with you. I don't think Parisian's UFC caliber. I think he's shown that. But again, you know, Buday doesn't have a ton of experience either, so we'll see what happens. I do think he probably wins the fight, probably by decision. That's what I'm saying. I think that might be the way to do it too, because like again, heavyweight fights usually lean the under on the odds, but this one, let me double check. Over 1.5. Wow, look at that. Over 1.5. There's only a few books that have it, but over 1.5 is minus 270. So bettors know it's going the distance probably, or at least over 1.5. That's a parlay piece right there, guys. What's with the unranked? I love the unranked heavyweights. Yeah, worst fight. I agree. Terrible fight. Buday wins by jabbing and clinching Parisian. Completely agreed. It's gonna be a bad fight. I'm not looking forward to it. All right, Marcel. We have Francis Marshall taking on Isaac Dulgarian. Odds for this one. Right now we have Francis Marshall, the Fire. No, he's not the Fire, actually. What's his nickname? Is he the Fire too? Oh, okay. So he's Elliot Fire Marshall, and we got Francis Marshall. That's right. He is minus 145. You got the Midwest Chopper, which is an awesome nickname. Isaac Dulgarian. He is plus 132 right now. So I actually want to hear your thoughts on this fight because you have a UFC newcomer here. What do you think, man?
Yeah, Dulgarian finally making his UFC debut. He was supposed to be like the Full Send sponsored athlete, but Full Send dropped him.
They signed Mike Malott instead, if people were curious.
It's just disrespectful, you know. They choose him and they just dropped him out of nowhere. Just didn't say anything, you know. Yeah, Dulgarian. I mean, he had that good run over TJ Britton, right? And FAC, that the promotion, I think it's in Kansas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he got signed there. For the featherweight championship. It's hard to say, man. Anything else, you know? Because we haven't. I haven't seen a lot of. Yeah, I've seen a lot of him, but it's against mediocre competition. You know what I mean? And what I've seen is good, but it's difficult. If you look at Francis Marshall. Kind of disappointing performance, dude, against William Gomis last time out. You know, Gomis got just by split decision. Before that, he looked really good against Marcelo Rojo. He knocked him out, and he actually looked decent on the Contender Series as well. I remember, you know, he has a lot of. I think he has some better competition fought so far than Dulgarian. But for me, it's really hard to place Bulgarian right now. How he does Dulgarian. I said Bulgarian. Jesus. Yeah. I'm slightly leaning towards Francis Marshall by decision, but man, I mean, Dulgarian might surprise you. I wouldn't put my money on it at all.
Yeah, this is tricky, this one, you know, because I think Francis has looked pretty good. I know we lost the last fight, but it was close, you know. He's looked pretty good. Like, he looked great against Rojo, obviously. Even the fight in Contender, he looked pretty good in. But, man, okay, so again, you know, I did the tape study. I actually hadn't watched Dulgarian's fights until now. I mean, the guy looks great. Like, he looks awesome, Marcel. Like, I was really impressed. I was super impressed. Now, again, he is fighting lower level guys, but he's immediately taking them down, getting the full mount, and beating the shit out of them, or taking their back immediately. All these wins are super quick, super dominant. Like, I think he's absolutely a live dog. I'm actually going to pick him in this fight, Marcel. I'll pick him to win, just because I was so impressed by what I saw. I really was. Like, there's a reason he got that contract in the first place. I saw the video with James. He interviewed him. He got completely fucked over by Full Send. It's not cool what they did to him. I feel bad for this dude. And, you know, hopefully he can just go out there and take all his frustration on Francis Marshall, get a win in his debut, and prove them wrong. You know, I was impressed by what I saw from this guy. I think he's going to do well in the UFC. Maybe he loses this fight, but I think he'll win some fights. I liked what I saw. Again, the lower level competition, guys, that always scares me off, right? But it's not like Marshall's like a veteran with all these fights either. You know, he's fought slightly better competition. I'll give him that. He's fought in the UFC. I'll give him that. That's why he's favored here. But I just liked what I saw from Dulgarian. I'm going to pick him, Marcel. I'll take him to win by stoppage, I guess, because that's how he wins his fights. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I liked the way he looked, man. Why did he pull out? I'm not 100% sure. Better off a full send. Yeah, I mean, probably is. I know Mike Malato's with them now, and yeah, at least Mike's a good guy too. So yeah, that's the thing. If he doesn't get the finish, he'll probably guess. But I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's Factory X guy, right? So like he's training at an elevation, right?
Yeah,
is that correct? Yeah,
I think he is. Yeah,
well, that's what you got. Yeah, he's Factory X. He's training in Denver. I think his cardio will be okay. You know, we'll see. It's unproven.
Walking in Denver.
It's unproven, Marcel. This is again. You know, I try to pick the established fighters, guys, but you do hear me. You guys listen to the podcast. I do take like flyers on guys sometimes that I like, and this is a guy I like. I thought he looked great on the tape. I was very impressed.
That's good. Why not? That's good. Why not?
Take a shot on him. I mean, there's going to be a few underdogs that win. I bet you, Marcel, most likely, I think one of the women's fights will be an upset, the three of them. And then,
of course, always.
Right? Probably one of the three or maybe two of the three, who knows? And then you'll have another one or two upsets. Maybe three more upsets. Usually each card is what, like 3 upsets, 4 upsets. You know, you have to kind of factor that in too. I get it. Every event's different. Every fight's different. But like just based on like the historical, you know, we watch all the fights, we watch all the cards. There are a couple upsets. This is a guy like I'm picking him a dog.
You're picking him. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. He doesn't have much experience, Glenn. Glenn hates the guys without experience, and I get that, and without minutes. I get it. But I liked what I saw from this guy. And Marcel, again, he is training at a solid gym. You know, he's training with good training partners there at elevation. Unproven, but based on the camp, I think he could do okay there.
I don't mind you picking him, dude. I mean, it's okay. I'm not convinced with my Francis Marshall pick at all. So I mean, it's possible, you know.
It's not like I'm super convinced on this one either, but I'm taking a shot on it. You know?
Yeah, why not?
I think he's training with like David Onama too, right? Like I'd imagine he's training with him. He's a Factory X guy. Yeah. Jonathan Martinez, like he's got good training partners. I think he'll be ready for this fight. These are going to be ready to go. They'll get him prepared. All right, we'll go to the next fight here, guys. This one is Terrance McKinney versus Mike Breeden. And this fight, I mean, it's super short notice for Terrance, but he's a huge favorite. He is minus 300, plus 240 on Mike Breeden. Like, who's really going to pick Mike Breeden here? Like,
his family members.
Yeah, I don't want to speak for you, Marcel, but I'm assuming you're picking Terrance. Like, if Terrance can't win this fight, he shouldn't be in the UFC. Like, quite frankly,
I tell you right now, if Terrance loses this one, he's out of the
cut,
UFC.
right? Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, even if he takes this fight on short notice, you know, I mean, this is a fight, and nothing against Mike Breeden. I have nothing against the dude, but this is a fight Terrance McKinney should win. You know what I mean? And I think he will do it quick as well. You know, he will come out of quick, and he will try to beat him. And the thing is with Sadikov last time. Sadikov is UFC level caliber, I think. And I think Breeden hasn't been proven so far. You know, he got quickly knocked out by Hernandez, and then he lost to Natan Levy. Yeah, Terrance going to win this fight, dude. And he wins in the first round, probably either by TKO or by submission. I'm going with submission here. I think he knocks him down, and he wins the fight with submission.
Yeah, I think he knocks him out. I'm, like, sure he knocks it. Like, Mike Breeden, I don't think is UFC caliber, personally. 10-5 record. Pretty much lost every fight he stepped up competition, except for that Brandon Jenkins win, who's like Brandon Jenkins is not that good either. Yeah, I mean he's going to be an exciting fight here, but like I'm pretty sure Terrance wins. Minus 300 seems high, but he should win in the first round, like most likely. And I do agree with Todd here in the chat.
Actually,
that's the thing. So I would like lean towards Terrance at under 1.5, but like again, if it does get to round 2, just like this guy's saying too, Breeden could win the fight. He could pull away late because I would imagine Breeden does have the better cardio. But again, I don't think he's got the chin, guys. He's been knocked out, 3 times? Twice. But still, Marcel, Terrance catches him, he's gonna go to sleep. So, like you said, Terrance can take his back and submit him, right? So
Terrance throws fire, in the first round. So
yeah, Terrance by stoppage, first round. We both like him here. All right, go to the next fight here. Well, here's another big favorite here, Marcel. We got Marcus the Maniac McGhee against JP Bays. And McGhee is a huge favorite here. He's the biggest favorite in the card, if I'm not mistaken. He is minus 400, plus 300 JP Bays. I know JP's your boy, but how could you pick him in this one, eh? Like, it's just Marcus McGhee. I know he's old. He's 30. Well, I shouldn't say old. He's younger than me, but still, like, about the same age almost. 33. I'm 34. But anyways, he's not like super old by any means, but like he doesn't. He's about a late bloomer to MMA, and he's looked great overall. I mean, he's got tons of finishes. He has power. He's got submissions. He looked phenomenal in his debut on short notice against Journey Dixon. Again, a guy that's a little bit older, like, you know, you look at his age, but a guy that only started pro 3 years ago. So he's making up for lost time. And he trains at a great camp, MMA lab, great training partners there, all those flyweights and bantamweights. And he's facing, again, I know JP's a good guy. I don't want to pile on the guy because, like, he went through that divorce and that's hard on anyone. But, like, he's looked just absolutely terrible in the UFC. Like, he's been destroyed in all 3 of his fights, basically. How could you pick him here? There's a reason the line is so high for McGhee. I think McGhee knocks out JP Buys in the first round. JP Buys has 3 fights in the UFC, guys, and he's been knocked out 8 times. And he knocked out twice. So you can't pick him here. You couldn't pick him here. There's just no reason to. Marcus McGhee knocks him out in probably the first round. I'm pretty confident he wins. What do you think, man?
Trivia question. Where stands JP for?
John Paul?
Jean-Pierre.
That was close.
Yeah, almost. So, yeah, I mean, it's at 135 as well. You know, JP normally fights at 125. He's now 135. He's an extreme couture. He's training a lot with Albazi. Yeah, I love to pick him here, but I can't. McGhee looked really impressive on short notice last time out against Jordan Newsom. You know, he got the finish as well. Yeah, I think McGhee should be able to win here. He probably finishes him. I think with a submission. I think he knocks him down and he wins the submission, first or second round, probably.
Marcel with back-to-back sub and club calls. So
Yeah.
maybe one of these 2 fights will win the sub and club.
Club and sub.
Club and sub, I should say, sorry. There's a podcast on that too. Do you guys think Terrance can go up to welterweight? Maybe, but I don't know, man. Terrance, I don't know. We'll see. Was hoping for discount Terrance. Yeah, the books are definitely getting sharp because they know everyone's going to pick him here. It's a bad match for him. But Buys, do you think McGhee can make a run in the UFC even after later rival? Yes, because he's only been fighting for 3 years. As a pro, isn't taking much damage. And again, you know, 33, again.
He's O'Malley's boy, right?
Yeah, he's O'Malley's boy. He's not super young, but he's training at a green camp, training with good coaches, and he's clearly talented. So, like, I think he can make a run. Yeah, I agree. Newsom's not great, but again, you know, look at the guy's record. Like, he was destroying everyone pretty much on the regional scene before he came to the UFC. He had 1 loss. I understand the competition wasn't great, but still, like, it was pretty good. He did have that 1 loss though by submission, right? I guess that would be the warrior that JP can get the wrestling going, but I just don't think he can, man. I really don't think he can. So, yeah, I can't pick JP Buys. All right. Hey, how's it going, man? Would you miss? Not much, but we appreciate the artwork as always. You just missed
for sure.
The first, 8 fights, maybe?
Yeah.
But not much otherwise. What's LP, what's up? He says, respect to the boys putting in the work week after week. Underrated betting podcast, man. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Really appreciate that, my friend. All right, guys, let's go to the next fight here. This is main card now?
Yeah, this main card, yeah.
All right, Josh Fremd against Jamie Pickett. He's getting a main card fight for some reason again. I don't understand. Anyways, minus 340 on Josh Fremd, plus 270 on Jamie Pickett. So Josh Fremd, second biggest favorite in the card. What do you think?
Yeah, this fight wasn't supposed to be on the main card at first, but they switched it for Buday against Parisian, just like they switched the Fanada Breeden, which was supposed to be the main card for Nchukwi against Dobson. Yeah, I mean, what can you say, man? Josh Fremd, he came into the UFC, lost 2. You know, he got signed off that looking for a fight with where Dana White was cage side, alongside Joseph Holmes. I think those 2 got signed from that night. He didn't look great against Anthony Hernandez, but at least he didn't get finished. Against Trayshawn Gore, he got in that really weird-ass guillotine choke where he got finished. Then he fought Cedricus Dumas last time, and the UFC set him up there for a loss, actually. They expected Dumas to win, and Dumas gassed out in the first round, and then Fremd got the win via submission in the second round. If you look at Jamie Pickett needs to win badly, dude. He lost his last 3 fights. He got screwed against Bo Nickel, let's be honest. He got shot in the nuts, and they didn't call it. Although I don't think he would even won if that didn't happen, let's be honest. Lost with Dennis Tuyulin. This is a fight can go either way, man. It's like both guys can suck and both guys can do well. If I have to pick somebody, I'm picking Josh Fremd based on his last fight and purely based on the last fight where he did do well in the second round. Didn't do really bad in the first, but also not really great. Jamie Pickett looks shot, man, in all of his fights I've seen so far, man. I think it's the only fight he won or he did look good and in the UFC. I think it was against Staropoli. He also got the win over Holmes, but that was pretty much the only fight I was like, yeah, okay, it's pretty decent.
Yep.
I'm not going to pick him here, man. I'm not going to pick Pickett. I'm picking Fremd. Let's go decision, you know.
Yeah, I'm not high on Pickett at all.
I don't know why you would start this fight with opening the main card, but that's my opinion. No disrespect at all.
I mean, I'm with you. I hopefully they switch this for the Terrance fight, right? Because that fight should be a quick knockout. Yeah, this fight, I don't know. I mean, there will probably be a finish, though. I'll say that there probably will be, but it's just I don't know, man. Jamie Pickett should not be the big card. 2-5 in the UFC. Jeez. Fremd by submission. I think Fremd wins easily. That being said, it's not like I love the minus 350 line or whatever it is. Like I don't love it, you know. But I'm fading Pickett every time I can get, right? I'm just still not sure about Fremd though either. You know, he should win easily though. I would imagine he submits this guy. But he's got some flaws in his game too, so it's not like it's a great spot here with the odds. All right. Yeah, maybe that's why. Who knows? Because he really doesn't deserve it, to be honest. Every fight. Yeah, I agree with that too. That's true. All right. Well, the next fight here, we got AJ Dobson taking on Tafon Nchukwi. Up for this one. Nchukwi minus 150, Dobson plus 120. Go ahead.
Yeah, another banger. Yeah, I mean, Tafon and Nchukwi, back at middleweight right now, right? He's like me, he loves to eat. So he went at like heavyweight a few times, didn't look really well at that weight. Although he did well against Azamat Murtakanov until he got destroyed by that flying knee in the third round, you know. That's Carlos Alback at horrible last time out. Now he's fighting AJ Dobson, who's looking for his first win inside the UFC. Got a good win over in Contender Series over Aisha Markaga, I think. Then got like dry hump by Jacob Malkoon, like most people do. And then he lost to Armin Petrosian. Petrosian was just better on the feet, you know. This is like, I mean, how does Tafon look again at middleweight? I remember he started his UFC career at middleweight and didn't look that bad, you know. But, I mean, I'm favoring AJ Dobson slightly. I don't know for sure. You know, it's like a really sucky fight to pick, in my opinion. I'm picking Dobson by decision, but I'm far from sure. Maybe I'm switching my pick. Honestly, I don't really give a fuck. But I think Dobson decision.
Yeah, I don't know. This one can go either way too. You're right. I'm leaning Nchukwi by decision. That's my lean. Because I want to remember he was pretty good coming into the UFC, right? But man, just hasn't looked great lately. Dobson hasn't either though, Marcel. Like he doesn't throw either. That's the thing. Like he refused to throw in that last fight. He wasn't listening to his corner at all. And I don't know. I can't take the guy. He could win the fight. I'm not convinced either way, but Nchukwi decision. I think it probably does go to decision. That's kind of what I'm leaning here, based on Dobson not throwing strikes.
What we think is going to happen, I don't hope so. I hope we see a finish because this really they could have done a better main card opening, man. These first two fights, I don't want to say they are bad, but they're not really appealing, you know.
I agree. I mean, it doesn't make sense really, to be honest with you. All time fun cut weight, yeah. 185 he should be better, but we'll see. He was beating Azamat actually. He was winning the first two rounds, and then he got knocked out. So, which isn't actually great for his chin, to be honest, but. Yeah, the Dobson fight IQ looks so bad. Like his corner was telling him to wrestle, to throw strikes. He wasn't listening. It was Mark Coleman right in his corner, right? He just wasn't.
Yeah, he's training with Mark Coleman. Yeah,
he just wasn't listening, and that's just to me like not a good sign. Also, he's older in this fight, which surprised me when I did the research. He's actually older too. So yeah. All right, next fight: Polyana Viana against Iasmin Lucindo. This is a pretty good fight actually. Women's strawweight bout, and the odds for this one, Marcel. Right now, Lucindo is favored minus 200 plus 160 on Viana. What do you think?
I think it's a little bit high as of a favorite. I still think Lucindo is. I pick Lucindo. Don't get me wrong, but I think it should be more even. I think it should be more of a pick 'em here. Polyana had a really bad a run in the UFC at a certain moment, but she has done better. She won 3 of her last 4. Only came short against Tabatarici. Got finishes, 2 armbar finishes, and that crazy knockout against Jinju Fry last time out. Was actually supposed to fight Emily Ducote earlier this year. Didn't happen. She pulled out twice. Now she's fighting Lucindo. Lucindo is one of these girls. She's super young. I think she's the youngest girl on the roster. And she's super fun to watch. We saw her against Iasmin Horegi. Very fun fight. Deserved both fight, and I didn't got it.
Yep.
Then she come back, fought Brogan Walker at 125. She normally fights at 115. And she completely dominated Brogan Walker. I don't say Brogan Walker was great, but that was a weight class up, I'm picking Lucindo here. I don't pick a submission or a KO. I think she wins a decision. I think many people are on Viana here, but I think Lucindo has more upside. I'm picking Lucindo.
Yeah, initially I was thinking like Viana's a dog because man, that knockout was nice, right, against Fry. But like Fry's aging fighter. Lucindo's so young. She's 21. Like she's super young. And what I like about her too, she can wrestle, right? And that's kind of where we saw Viana struggle against Tabitha Ricci getting taken down. Like, don't get me wrong, she's dangerous. She has arm bars from her back. She's a dangerous fighter. She'll improve stand up, but like, I don't know, man. Lucindo is like I think a problem. I didn't think the line would be -200, but I think the books kind of know she's probably going to win the fight. So that they're trying to protect themselves a little bit here with the line at -200, kind of keeping people away because. If she's a pick'em, I think everyone's better than Lucindo. But if they 2-1, regardless, I think she wins. Wins the decision. I have the same lean as you. I do think she wins that fight.
All right.
She beat the show the guy trying to rob her too. Is that true? I don't.
Oh yeah, Polyana. She got robbed.
Yeah. That's right. I like Polyana. I think we all do. But like, I think she gets taken down here. You think it's like a grindy type fight or striking more?
I would say in a fight, I pick Lucindo, and on OnlyFans, I would pick Polyana. Okay. There you go.
Okay. Patty says, I think Jake Paul beat McGregor in a boxing match. He might. I mean, he probably does, to be honest. It's hard to pick Conor in any sport right now. Dobbs has knee fixed. Did he? Okay, that's good to know. But still, I don't know, man. He could win. Again, I'm not convinced either way. I'm just saying, like, based on what I've seen, the guy just doesn't listen to his corner. All right, well, the next fight here, we got Khalil Rountree against Chris Daukaus. Finally happened. Hopefully this fight actually happens because they all got canceled, like, really late last time. Rountree -200 plus 160 Daukaus. What do you think?
Yeah, Sean Strickland says Khalil Rountree is soft, so I have to go with Chris. No, I'm just kidding. It's like, Chris Daukaus, he comes finally at light heavyweight, and he looks good. Not gonna lie, he looks good if I see the pictures. He looks like a light heavyweight. He looks much more dry, trained. We'll see, what's going to happen. Listen, Khalil Rountree, the thing with Khalil Rountree is he won his last 3 fights, although I think he lost the Jacoby fight, actually. The thing with Khalil Rountree is he's like hit or miss, He's not consistent, in my opinion, He has also a loss against Marcin Prachnio. That was actually his last loss. Losing to Kutelaba. Then he looked like a world beater against Eric Anders, I remember, It's like he's not consistent. I would still slightly lean towards Khalil Rountree by stoppage win, but don't be surprised if Daukaus gets it somehow. I think many people would be surprised, but I wouldn't be. I think it's a hit or miss this one again. I would pick Khalil Rountree based on Daukaus' last couple of fights, and he has now to cut to 205. Let's see how it happens. But maybe we see a completely Chris Daukaus 2.0, who's still going to do some work. You never know, but I got to go Khalil Rountree here.
I just hate the matchup for Daukaus. I just hate the matchup. He's coming off 3 straight knockout losses, and now he's fighting a guy who's a great striker with knockout power.
True.
Like, this is just a bad matchup for him. Like, don't get me wrong, Chris Daukaus has power himself. We've seen that at heavyweight. And, man, he was looking good in the UFC at the beginning, right? Like, you thought, oh, there's a brand new contender. But you also saw a lot of belly fat, obviously, on him. Not one to talk, just saying, like, he did. And that's why he's cutting down 205. So this could be a great move for him. But, like, again, I just don't like the matchup. Roundtree's, again, don't think he won the last fight, but on paper, he's won 3 straight fights. And even if you take away that last fight, which was, again, a pretty competitive fight that he shouldn't have lost, but still, the fights before that, Robertson and Modestas Bukauskas destroyed them. Just destroyed them. So when this guy's on, I mean, he could knock out pretty much anyone in this division. I think he knocks out Daukaus, man. I'm pretty sure he wins this fight. I like Roger here. First round knockout, maybe second round knockout. I think he gets the job done. Daukaus speed advantage, heavyweight, maybe, but like he is actually, yeah, right. He's like he had a lot of heavyweight he did, but in this fight, yeah, I mean Rountree's like pretty fleet of foot, right? You know, just again such a technical striker with power. Chris has a puncher's chance, and that's it, really. And I don't think it lands. Rountree has been knocked out before, but I don't know. Don't think he loses this one, man. All right. Next fight, Marcel. We have co-main event. Cub Swanson against Hakeem Dawodu. Odds. Me and Hakeem minus 250 plus 195 at Cub. What do you think?
I feel like this is the last time the UFC is trying to get Hakeem Dawodu up in the rankings, you know, to give him a fight against a well-known guy and to see if he's up to the challenge. You know what I mean? Listen, you know what Cub Swanson brings. Cub Swanson is super tough, but he's aging, you know. Back at featherweight right now. He fought his last fight at bantamweight. Hakeem Dawodu is super inconsistent. I was actually shocked the way he lost to Arosa, man. He got completely dominated in that fight. I looked really bad in that fight. The Avloya fight, yeah, I expected him to lose that one. The two hook off, I don't think he won that one, but okay, you know, he got it, so no doubt, no problem. If I pick Dawodu here, it's because Swanson is aging. You know what I mean? If Swanson was younger, I would have picked him probably. I'm picking Dawodu. He's not going to finish. I think he gets a decision win.
I feel the same way. I mean, Cub's 40 this year, so it's hard to pick him, right? And he just looked terrible against Martinez. But, I mean, he did look great against Elkins the fight before that. But still, I mean, listen, the guy's a veteran. He's a stud. He's a Hall of Famer, you know, if you want to say that. Like, he's had some amazing fights. He's been a great bet over the years, too. He's usually been an underdog. He's won a lot of fights. But, like, yeah, I mean, Hakeem's so much younger, right? 32. Go ahead.
When you say Hall of Famer, last time I wrote an article in Dutch about him, and it said I also put Hall of Famer there. And then I read it back 2 days later. I completely overlooked it, and it said Hall of Farmer.
Yeah, that's funny. But it's like weird. It's like Hall of Famer Doo Choi, you know? Like, anyways. But yeah, Cub's a legend regardless. I don't know, like Hakeem, you're right. I mean, didn't look good. And that was a year ago. He's had a long layoff. So much younger though, and he's such a good striker. But again, I don't want to lay minus 250 on him here. Coming off a loss in his last fight, I don't love it. I'm picking Hakeem by decision. I think he'll just be able to strike Cub, be the faster guy, land more strikes. But yeah, I mean, the guy, that last fight was bad, you know, in my opinion. So Cub, who knows? Maybe he comes out here and gets the win. I don't know. I don't think so. But I'm not like running to the window to lay minus 250 on Hakeem. Main event time, guys. Yeah, Rafael Anjos against Vicente Luque at 170. Odds for this one. RDA minus 120. Luque plus 100. So close to a pick 'em. Let me start on this one, Marcel. I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
I really like RDA in this fight. I really like this fight. Now, I understand at welterweight, I think his record's 5-4 as a welterweight. It's not great, right? But fighting a league competition, you know, former champions, like anyone would lose to those guys. And again, he's such a great fighter, man. He's a legend. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame just because he's such a great fighter. Against Brian Barber, you saw what happened, right? It goes back to the wrestling, and that's what I think he'll do in this fight. Like Luque, I understand he's a bit bigger. He's going to be physically bigger. I get that. But I just think the takedown defense is not good enough. It's only 61%. RDA is a guy that will go for takedowns. He lands 2 per fight over the sample size of like over 20 fights. Like he will take you down. He will grind you on the mat. He can do it for 5 rounds easily. That's what I think happens here. I think it'll look like the Bilal Muhammad fight personally. I know Bilal's again a bigger fighter, but I think that's what it looks like in this fight. Luque is a great striker, man. He can submit you. I just have not been. He's my guy, but I'm off the wagon right now because the last 2 fights were so bad. And then again, hearing this news about this like brain hemorrhage, I understand he's okay now, but like it just sounds bad. I don't think he has to worry about taking a lot of damage to the head in this fight, but I think he's just going to get taken out, controlled. Probably has, you know, defensive jiu-jitsu enough to survive to the 5 rounds, like the Bilal fight. But yeah, I think RDA, you know, takes him down. Marcel grinds it out, wins a decision, gets back in the rankings. So I like RDA here. Minus 120, I lean towards this way. What do you think?
The thing is, like that brain how do you say that, hemorrhage?
Yeah,
that was kind of shocking, you know.
Yeah.
Still, I feel like Luque can win this fight, dude. don't get me wrong. I'm really torn with this one because I think it's really close. I think RDA has ways to win the fight. I still think Luque isn't done. That's what I think. If Luque is done, he probably loses this one as well. You think he's done? You think he's done, right?
I don't think he's done, but he's fighting a guy.
But he's done. He's done in the top of the rankings.
If he loses this fight, yeah, because RDA is not ranked anymore at this weight class. I mean, is he still ranked at lightweight? Let me double check.
Yeah, he is at lightweight.
Oh, he's number 9 lightweight. Listen, he's top 15. I think, anyways. But yeah, I'm with you, Marcel. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Bro, I'm picking Luque. I think he can get the finish late via TKO maybe, but I wouldn't be surprised if RDA wins and he uses a lot of his jiu-jitsu on the ground, his wrestling. Still going Luque. Not sure about it. I wouldn't bet on this fight at all. So
yeah, for me, it's part style because I do think
I
think he get the takedown, and then it's also a part fade on Luque because it just has looked bad.
I understand.
For me,
I mean, I think if you picked this fight 2 years ago, you probably go Luque.
100%, but I can't now, right?
No, I understand.
So we'll see, and it's crazy because RDA is, I think, 38, so he's an older guy, but he's still effective. He's still getting the job done. Yeah, RDA is a freaking legend, man. He's Hall of Fame, right? Yeah, I think. Let me double check his age, actually. 38.
37? 38?
Yeah, he's 38. He's turning 39 in October. So, yeah. All right. Just got these last comments, guys. Heard the weight cut. Oh, for Cub? Yeah, it was horrible weight cut. I think his cardio will be fine at 145. That's why I'm saying it's going the distance, and McKinney probably just outstrikes him. That's what I think. Luque, yeah, his takedown defense is bad, Marcel. It's 60% basically. It's not very good, Bilal did it RDA well. I think so too. But again, Bilal is a bigger dude. Yeah, that's the only thing, right? The thing is though, even on the feet, RDA can hang up with them on the feet. I know Fiziev knocked him out. I get that, but that fight was pretty competitive too. Yeah, he knocked out in the 5th round. That was really shocking, to be honest. But yeah, I'm with you on this too. I'm completely with you, Antoine. All right, so that's it for the UFC Vegas 78 preview, Marcel. Anything else you want to say in this card? You're good to go.
We're good to go, dude. We still have a few other cards to go. So yeah.
We're gonna pull up Contender Series, guys. Pull it up right now. So we'll go to Dana White's Contender Series tomorrow night, guys. Tuesday night's Contender Series is back.
It's 1 hour earlier.
Yeah, 7 o'clock Eastern now, which I like better actually. It's better that way.
It's only the first 2 episodes because of Tough.
Okay. All right, so we have Cesar Almeida against Lucas Fernando. So good fight. Lucas Fernando, he's on a roll here in LFA. And then Cesar Almeida is a kickboxer. He actually beat Alex Pereira. He was also lost to him, but he's beaten him. I think it was 10 years ago. But yeah, great win. And I'll just quickly pull the odds up. We'll do quick breakdowns for these guys. Not going to do, in depth like the last card. But let me see if I can find the odds, Marcel. Here we go. Minus 250 on Fernando, plus 210 on Almeida. Yeah, I mean Fernando just based on his performances in LFA. But again, I find Dana White's Contender Series, it's kind of dog or pass for a lot of these fights. And Cesar Almeida's got power. So what do you think?
I'm with you, man. Cesar Almeida is 3-0 against pretty much 3 nobodies. Losing records or 0-0 guys. Come from kickboxing. He's pretty. How do you say that? Popular over here. Many people are leaning on Cesar Almeida, but because they're pretty heavy on kickboxing, he's former glory guy. But nah, man, I gotta go Lucas Fernando. It's MMA. He definitely has a chance. To knock him out for sure. But I'm definitely picking Lucas Fernando here, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. Man, I think it's going to be a banger, though, guys. You're going to probably see a contract awarded from this fight, right? You'd imagine, too? All right, we got Tom Nolan against Bogdan Grad, and this Tom Nolan guy is huge. At the weigh-in, he was so much bigger. I don't know. Did you watch the weigh-in? I saw it. Yeah. He's so much bigger. I think he's 6'3" or something at lightweight, which is massive.
And he didn't have a difficult weight cut. He was first on the scale, and Bogdan was the latest one on the scale. Yeah,
so we got minus 155 at Nolan, plus 135 at Bogdan. Now, Bogdan, he's definitely an aggressive dude. He'll come out there. He'll try to knock him out. But I think Nolan, the size, man, Marcel, it was impressive. Comes from Eternal MMA. Got, what's his name? Steven Ursag, right? He came from there as well. So you're seeing some new fighters come from that promotion over there in Australia. And this guy, I think, again, if he gets a nice win here and it's quick, they might throw him in that card in Sydney, potentially.
Awesome. It's actually funny that Topology used my graphic.
For what? Where?
The one on top.
No,
not that one. On the Dana White Contender Series card.
Oh, that's
that
yours?
One. Yeah, I made that.
Oh, okay, I see it. Yeah, that's your style. You like Nolan too?
Yeah. I was kind of 50-50 on this one. I was kind of slightly leaning towards Grat, but it was really like a pick him to me. But I've seen the weigh-ins now, and and Nolan looked better, and he looked more fresh there. And it was really 50-50 to me to this one, so I'm going Nolan, yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. All right, next up, just replying to that comment. Kyle Bigfoot Machado, he's the BFL champion. He comes here against Kevin Sofarski at heavyweight. Probably mispronounce the last name. I'll hear it better tomorrow. But yeah, Kevin's the favorite here, minus 185, and Kyle plus 160. So I'm more familiar with Machado because he's fought in BFL in Canada, Marcel. He actually fought Jordan Meehan's dad twice and beat him twice. I mean, that's not impressive though, right? Like,
what is it, his dad?
Liam Meehan's Jordan Meehan's dad. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So he beat him. He knocked him out twice, or he submitted him once and knocked him out the other time. The only other guy he's fought that you'll hear of probably is Dustin.
How old is he?
Kyle or Liam?
No, Lee Meehan.
45 probably. Let me double check. Yeah, 56. Oh my god. Oh,
Jesus.
Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah, 56. So he knocked him out submitted him 2 years ago, so he's 54. And he knocked him out the same year. So yeah, he beat a 54-year-old Lee Meehan twice.
Okay.
Listen, Lee's kind of like a legend. I mean, in a way, like pioneer or whatever they call it. But beating him means nothing. Actually, what's sad, he actually just won a fight. Lee Meehan, he just beat a guy who's 36. So
okay,
wow. Anyways, I think this Kevin guy, man, he looked pretty big and mean, and he's these Eastern European guys. We know they can grind these fights out.
He's a baby long guy, right?
Pardon?
Baby long guy.
Oh yeah, that promotion in Poland or whatever. Yeah. I'm picking this guy. I think
Me too.
I think he wins a decision, maybe grinds it out. You think he finishes it or decision? Yeah.
Let's fucking hope he finishes it because we're gonna see a very, very annoying decision otherwise. But I think I'm going with a ground and pound finish in the first round.
Marcel, I don't think this fight's gonna be very good, honestly.
No.
They might, if there's no finish, they won't give a contract. But
if it's a decision afterwards, Laura Sanko, Dana, who are your contract? Yeah. Wasn't great, but we need heavyweights, so come here. You get your contract.
God, I hope they fucking do that. You're so funny, dude. Anyways, Peyton Talbot against Reyes Cortez. That's Tracy Cortez's brother.
Yeah.
Odds on he fought contender already. Yeah. Minus 150 on Peyton Talbot. Reyes Cortez plus 130. I'm going with this undefeated guy, Marcel. I'm leaning his way. And I've leaned towards all the favorites. I already said there'll be some dogs that win because it's Dana White's contender series. But so far, this guy looks pretty impressive, man. Look at this, Marcel. For their favorites promotion, 3 straight wins. And Cortez, I know he's got a little bit better experience, but to me, he's still kind of hittable and stuff. I don't know, man. I think this guy can put a beating on him a little bit here. I'm picking this guy by knockout Talbot. What do you think?
I'm picking Reyes Cortez, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Grind a decision or a knockout?
Yeah, decision.
So it won't be a contract then?
No. Yeah, maybe because Tracy's there and this is the second time. So
true. Kevin Boreas against Victor Diaz. Odds on this one. Diaz. These are wide. Diaz is minus 325. Boreas plus 250. Diaz is Titan FC, right?
Yeah, he got that win over Wascar Cruz.
This one. Yeah. He's actually got quite a bit of experience now. Good ground game. Boreas. Let's see this guy. I think his only loss is by submission too, right? In Gambache, yeah. So,
but this opponent's not really.
Who are these guys? I mean, to be fair, you could say a lot about a lot of the guys in Contender Series, but at least I have heard of a few of these guys like Cleveland McLean and you said the Wascar Cruz. Yeah. So, just based on that, I mean, what do you think? A submission, probably?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he might get a contract too because he might look good in the roster at 120. Oh, it's 125. Okay, great. Yeah. So, yeah, that'd be even better. So, yeah, I mean, I think. I'll say there would be 3 contracts awarded, maybe 4. What do you think?
Let's hope that it's more than one last time. Last year with Joe Pfeiffer in the first episode, remember?
Oh, God, you're right, yeah. Although, Alessandro Costa won, and then he came to the UFC and looked amazing. So, you never know, man. These guys could have jitters and look bad and then end up being good, right? So we'll see. But, yeah, go ahead.
Here we got another trivia question. Who is the only winner of Dana White Contender Series last year who didn't get signed by now?
It's this girl named Christina Walczyk or something.
Carolina Walczyk. You're good. Yeah.
No, I know I'm smart. Yeah, I'm pretty smart, right? Yeah. But no, I looked at it last night. I was like, man, after Bazooka got signed, I'm pretty sure every winner got signed. And this one girl that had like this really boring decision didn't get signed.
I think she lost recently at KSW as well.
She did, but I think she's bounced back. Or she lost recently? Okay, yeah. Because I know she won in Invicta.
Let me check.
She won in Invicta. And just the fact that they were beating women, they'll probably bring her in at some point. Where's already ranked in the top?
You're right. She lost in Invicta, but then she won last time. Yeah, you're right.
Where's already ranked in the top 10 lightweights of all time? Probably like top 10. I mean, top 5. Maybe 10. Top 5. Maybe top 5. I mean, it's possible. I have to think about it more, but at least top 10.
He's lightweight. Let me see who I have above him. I have Khabib above him. I have BJ above him. I have Benson Henderson above him.
Frankie.
All the way Frankie above him.
And that's probably it, right? Benson? I don't know. You said Benson?
Matthews is welterweight, right? Yeah, I said Benson.
Pettis? I don't think so.
Gilbert Melendez, I have above him.
Actually, you know what? I would put Charles Oliveira above him too. Now that I think about
top 10. Let's say top 10.
Islam 2 probably. Yeah, top 10. It wouldn't be top 5 actually. And we forgot Connor, but I don't really. Connor had one fight at 155, so I don't want to count him there. You know. Anyways, here's just a question. Illinois main event for 293. They're going to pay Strickland. What are you hearing, Marcel?
I'm hearing it's happening, but people have announced it already. Well, it's not 100%.
That spinning back fist announced it. That's not official though, right?
No, it's they said that's going to happen, but there are still some things to materialize. I'm like, why announce it then? Because
they want to be first. They want to get credit when it happens.
And they're still not first because Fox Sports Australia already announced it. So I mean, they were before them. So
good point. There you go. So these guys, yeah. Anyways, that fight's not official, guys. I don't. Who are these people?
They fought in Octagon last week.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Lucena was undefeated, and he was a double champion, I think. And he's from Belgium, and Sonny Kitts is Georgie's guy. He's a Georgian, and Lucena hurt his ankle, I think, during when he was on the ground. So that fight got stopped. So Sonny Kitts won. But yeah, Lucena was injured, so they're likely going to do the fight again when Lucena is not injured anymore if he's recovered. But suck, man, because I really wanted to see Lucena in the UFC. He's really good. I interviewed actually Lucena after his first pro win in Belgium. And I asked him what he thought about MMA in general. He's like, I want to be in Bellator or UFC, and everybody says that pretty much. It was his first win in his pro career. So I was like, okay, let's see. He's good, man. He's some crazy power. He's a good fighter, and he's going to marry Miss Belgium, former Miss Belgium. So good for him.
Wow. Yeah, there you go. He's an all-star right away with that. All right. Let's do Bellator. How about that? Bellator?
Go ahead. Yeah.
So we'll go to Bellator, guys. There's a Bellator 298. There's also a Bellator 299 card next month. And then Cole Shelton reported Bellator 300. I believe it's October, Marcel. So from what we're hearing, guys, the Bellator 300 card is going to have, I'm hearing 5 title fights, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be like the final Strikeforce card where they booked all these title fights, although some of them didn't end up happening. But remember at the end of Strikeforce, they were just trying to book all the champions, basically. That's what you'll see here in Bellator. And then I mean, we're all hearing what's happening with PFL.
And then it might be PFL.
What else have you heard? Have you heard anything else about this whole thing? Or
no, nothing anymore, man. Nothing.
You know what? The Cole reported Bright Primus against Usman, right, for the title. Yeah. Is that part of the tournament still, or no? Because they're not going to finish the tournament.
No.
So semifinals is going to be the end of it. No finals. But yeah. All right, let's get into Bellator quickly here. Just quickly, Marcel. Logan Storley, Brandon Ward.
Long card.
Yeah, we don't have to go through all the fights.
Logan Storley.
He's minus 300. He should absolutely win this fight. I think he grinds it out. Brandon Ward's look great. It'd be great if he won, though. If he wins, I don't know what his contract status is, but if he did win, I mean, the UFC might like him because of his exciting ability, but in fight style. But yeah, Logan's at wrestling should get the job done. Valentino Dosky versus Steve Mowry, the rematch that no one wanted. Valentine's minus 245. Big Steve or whatever is plus 195. Tall Steve. What's his nickname? Tall Steve, yeah. Plus 200, though. Do you think he's got a chance?
I'm picking Mowry here.
Yeah, I mean, the odds are off. Valentine's not looked great lately. This fight's good. This is actually a really good fight. I mean, this could easily be like Contender Series or something, right? Like Dalton Roster versus Aaron Jeffrey. I'm pretty high on Dalton. He's minus 225 against Aaron, the Canadian, plus 185. I'm pretty confident Dalton wins this fight. I actually really like him here.
I'm with you.
Yeah. There's actually some bets on this card, guys. So that's a guy I have circled right there, Dalton Roster. I really like him. You also have James Gonzalez against James Gallagher. And Gallagher's minus 120, so he's a small favorite. You think he wins, or
I'm picking Gallagher, but don't be surprised if James Gonzalez puts up another great fight. I mean, he did it before. He
Sabatini, right?
remember with Pat Sabatini when he was supposed to sign in the UFC after his win against Gonzalez, and Gonzalez
and this
took
one
his
too,
arm almost off.
Cody Law, who's a
Cody
huge
Law,
underdog.
another one. And Aaron Pico, he got unanimous decision.
No,
but
he did. He actually did pretty good against Pico.
Yeah.
He's not a bad fighter. He might win this fight. I'm staying away from it now that you convinced me to stay away. Sidney Allah versus Islam Mamdouh. What's Islam's odds? Minus 225. I think Islam wins, right? Those are good odds. Decision, you think?
Yeah.
Lucas Brennan undefeated against Weber Almeida. Lucas Brennan minus 500.
Picking Brennan. I think Almeida in bed, but picking Brennan.
Yeah. Ooh, this is interesting. Enrique Barzola against Jalen Bates. Odds for this one. Barzola is minus 205. So you like him there?
Yeah, man. Picking Barzola. Way more experience, way more tougher fights. You know, Bates is a talent, but I'm still picking Barzola here.
Deanna Ragova against Justine Kish. And Deanna, I think, is favored, right? Minus 160 only. What do you think?
I'm not sure here, dude. I think Diana Avsaragova, many people are high on her, but her only real good win is the one against, what's the name again? Alejandra Azulara, you know? And just in case, she got that win over Ilimale McFarlane when she came in Bellator, and she lost twice to vitamin, what's her name again? Deanna Bennett.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's close. I would closely go with Asaragova, but don't be surprised if Kish wins this one, man. I mean,
but Kish is like, she had that fight against, was it Leo Lay, where she won as a dog, right? So I think, wait, did she win or she got robbed? I can't remember.
No, I think Kish
did actually win. Yeah, she did win the fight. Yeah. Anyways, we have Vladimir Tokov and Jair Pacheco. Yeah, minus 260 on Tokov.
Daukaus, man. I mean, you always have, like, if you have two brothers, you have one really good one and one less one. I think Vladimir is not a good one, but he's still good enough, you know. Yeah, so he's gonna win it.
Anatoly's better one, right?
Yeah.
Katerina Shekalova against Diana Silva, who's like always in these close fights, but Deanna is actually favored here. There's different odds on this fight. You could probably scalp it. I'm looking at fightodds.io. You can scalp this fight if you want, guys, because there's minus 150 at one book, and then you got plus 300 in the girl on the other book, Bovada. So
I'm picking Diana.
I don't know if those odds are accurate right now, but they're going to be scalped by someone. It's like free money out there for someone. I'm pretty sure Diana can win this fight though as a dog. Don't know a lot about this girl, I'll be honest. Okay, so she's more of a grappler. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I think Diana got screwed in two of her fights, man. I think she won against Leah McCourt, and she won against Julia Butt as well.
Yeah, let's get through the rest of these fights. We got Sullivan Cauley is favored minus 800.
Horrible layup fight, dude. Cauley.
Alfie Davis is favored.
That's a fun one.
Actually, no. Elon Cruz is favored. He's minus 135. Okay, so the odds flipped because the books open Alfie Davis as a favorite. I don't know about Cruz though, man. His chin is a little sketchy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who are you picking?
I'm picking Alfie Davis, but it's close fight.
As a dog, I would lean him to. We got Leandro Higo against Nikita Mikhailov.
Picking Mikhailov.
He's minus 225. Yeah, he goes a little bit on the decline. Josh Hill against Kasum Kasimov. Kasimov minus 265. I don't know much about this guy.
He's solid, man. He's a fun fighter to watch.
Eagle SC.
He's really good on the ground.
Okay. Yeah, and Josh is getting up there in age too. What's Josh now? 35.
Josh is pretty decent fighter as well. You know.
Yeah, but that last fight he should have won it. He was minus 400 and barely won.
I did a podcast about this card. I said as well, man. The Cass Bell fight split decision, not really good. You know, and the Marcus Brano, he should have won actually. So yeah.
That's why he's the underdog here.
The Gerald Hodge, Marceli Alves. You got Gerald Hodge. I think he's a champion in is it LFA? And Marceli Alves is a jungle fight, I think.
Yeah, minus 170 for this guy. So
yeah, fun fight. I would pick him, Gerald Hodge. Yeah, but Marceli is a pretty fun fighter as well. You know, he fights a jungle fight. He's I think he's a champion there. You should check for sure.
Oh, let me check. Sorry, clicked the wrong guy.
No problem.
This guy?
Yeah. I think he's champion of the jungle fight.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, he was challenger. He won the belt. So yeah. And then Jordan Oliver. I mean, he should win, right?
Yeah.
Killcliff FC, like wrestling prospect, wrestling phenom. Against the guy's 0-1. Tap out to strikes. I mean, come on, this fight's a joke. What's the odds? Minus 900. Look for the under 1.5 in that fight, guys. And then you have this guy Michael Blockus against Eli Meff. Another like setup, right? minus 1,200. I think both these wrestlers win here, Marcel.
Yeah, I think that's also what they want. So
I mean, they should both win unless they. What's that guy's name that shit the bed? What's his name? He lost that split decision. What's his name?
Which one you mean?
It was like a few months ago. He's a really highly touted wrestler, and he lost in Bellator.
Is it Hokett or somebody else?
Yeah, I think that might have been it. Maybe.
Yeah, look him up, Hokett, if it's him. Then we know.
I think it might be. Let me double check.
Hokitt.
I'm just going through actually the cards right now. Okay, it was. Is that the guy? I just want to figure out who this was before someone jumps in here. That's all factoring. Oh man, what was the guy's name? Is it this card? 295. I don't know, Marshall. I don't know who I'm talking about anymore.
Look up Isaiah Hokett. Maybe it's him.
Might be. I feel like the name was a little different.
Yeah, against Corey Samuels in the first round. Oh, you mean the guy with the mullet?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's his name again?
I know. That's what I'm saying. What's the guy's name? I can't remember.
Fuck. Yeah.
I know, right? It was like, dude, they got like destroyed. I'm trying to find it.
Now we have to fucking find it, dude.
I know. I want to end the show, guys, but we can't end on like a bad note here. What's this dude's name?
No. We have to find it now, man.
It was like earlier this year, right? Was it this card? Oh, was this the guy? Oh man, we suck, Marcel. We can't find this.
No. We have to find it before we stop. Patrick Downey.
That's the guy's name. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, hopefully these guys aren't like frauds like that, dude. Anyways, I think it's a good spot to end the show here, guys. So I appreciate everyone tuning in. And yeah, I'm just looking at some comments. Yeah, Joey Davis is another guy too. Like, I think he had a nice streak and then he lost, right? So, anyways, guys, appreciate everyone joining in and listening to the podcast today. If you missed it, go back, preview the whole card for UFC Vegas 78 plus Contender Series and Bellator 298. Marcel, anything else you want to add, man? You good to go?
We're good.
All right, guys, we'll finish up here today, but we should be back next Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern for the next podcast. We'll be recapping UFC Vegas 78 and then actually previewing, if I'm not mistaken, UFC 292. So looking forward to that. Have a great week, everyone. Good luck with your bets. Talk to you guys soon. Like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff, guys. Follow us on Twitter at Adam Martin and Big Marcel 24. Peace. Have a good week, guys. Take care. Bye.